Welcome to the first ever Sin City Beats Awards. We're handing out trophies, figurative, not literal, and our panel, of course, has a wide range of opinions. Let's do this thing. The first ever Sin City Beats Awards starts now.
From Las Vegas, this is Sin City Beat.
Hello and welcome in. You all look so elegant and lovely at home during this holiday season. Thank you for joining us for the first ever Sin City Beats Awards show. I'm your host, Mariah Janos. Tonight we will be awarding Vegas sports figures in 4 major categories: Vegas Coach of the Year, Vegas Athlete of the Year, Vegas Rookie of the Year, and Vegas Comeback Player of the Year. Now, before we start awarding trophies, let's meet our panel. Managing Editor of the Las Vegas Sun, Ray Brewer, and our very own reporter with Fox 5 Las Vegas, Mike Allen. Great to have you both with us. We've got a smaller panel today, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's about quality, not quantity, right? So now it's time to kick off the Sin City Beats Awards show. The first category of the night, Vegas Comeback Player of the Year. Ray Brewer, who are you awarding as the comeback player?
Vegas Comeback Player of the Year is, I totally forgot about my answer. Is there a way we could restart that?
You went with Haj Malik Williams.
Can I go Haj Malik Williams? Yeah. You know what? I love the Rebels, as everybody knows. And
do you?
Yeah, they're my. I'm a huge UNLV.
More than he can say.
No, but just the fact that he started as the backup and only got into the lineup because somebody left the team and dramatically left the team, and then he kind of like carried the team on his shoulders. 10-win season, ranked for the first time in school history. And it wasn't like he was coming in and a lot of times you see a backup come in and the first guy was awful. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy was coming in replacing somebody who had had an epic performance against Kansas. And not only was Haj Malik good on the field, but he was such a great leader. And I think the players really rallied around him. So not like an injury coming back, but certainly sparking UNLV to the LA Bowl.
And it certainly makes me wonder because ahead of the season, they talked about the quarterback race being tight, and everyone was like, I don't know, maybe they're just saying that to make him feel better. But considering they didn't skip a beat with Haj Malik taking that QB1 spot, maybe that quarterback battle was actually close in training camp.
And I think it shows a great value of having backups, right? Yeah. And you're only as good as the next person up. And to UNLV's credit, they gave Haj Malik plenty of reps. Remember, he was there at spring practice. Matthew Slicka wasn't. Mm-hmm. And gave him plenty of reps in summer camp. So when it was his turn to play, he just went in and he was able to run the ball so well and throw, and then able to get good passes off. And just a credit to what UNLV has done the last 2 years. An amazing 2-year run that I think is only started. And it's a testament to this player who didn't give up on himself when he didn't get the job, waited his turn, and then came in and just really ignited UNLV football.
Yeah, and it says a lot when he got that starting gig, all of his teammates rallying around him, really pumped about that decision. All right, let's move on to you, sir, Mike Allen. Who is your vote for Comeback Player of the Year?
My vote, I'm going to go with the quarterback of the defense. So Jalen Catalon, especially the back end of the defense. So so the safety, I've got a unique perspective actually on Jalen Catalon. So I was in Arkansas when he came there. He was a 4-star recruit, right? So I was reporting in Fayetteville and saw him show flashes, but he could never really stay on the field. He made some good plays. This year, though, after transferring to Texas after 4 years at Arkansas, this was his super senior season. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, he's lights out as a Rebel. So he sets career highs in solo tackles and interceptions. In fact, before this year, he actually didn't have a single pick since 2021. He led the Mountain West with 5 this season. He was also an unquestioned leader of this defense. Really a big part of why this defense was so improved from last year. Last year, they were pretty good on defense, but this year, Jalen Catalon, I think, was really the catalyst. Very, very much improved, and just had such an injury-riddled college career. This year really showed what he could be as a full-time player.
I really like that pick. A very unique pick. I wasn't expecting it, so I really enjoyed that one. For me, my pick was the captain of the Vegas Golden Knights, Mark Stone. This man is pretty injury prone. It seems like you could give him comeback player of the year every single year, but if you look at this past playoff run, while the Knights didn't go too deep into the postseason, Mark Stone was out for the last 26 games comes in to the playoffs, scores on his first shot a minute and 23 seconds in on the power play, and he is just that guy that gives his team the boost, the juice that they need to excel. And he did it the year before in the Cup run with 22 points in 24 games on the way to a Stanley Cup championship. Mark Stone is that dude. No matter how long he's been out of the lineup, once he's back in, he makes an impact immediately. So I am all about the captain, and hopefully, I know he's been in and out of the lineup this season as well, but hopefully he can get back to full health and continue aiding the Golden Knights team. All right, we're just getting started here. More from the first ever Sin City Beat Awards after the break.
You're watching Sin City Beat.
Welcome back to the Sin City Beat Awards show. Mariah Janos here. We have one award down. Now it's time to award our second category, Vegas Rookie of the Year. Mike, who are you awarding this spectacular honor?
I'm taking a page out of your book, Ray, actually. I'm going Malik Williams. So there's an obvious answer, and Brock Bowers he should be the NFL Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to leave that to you. But I want to talk about Malik a little bit here. He gets a lot of credit, but he might not get enough credit for what he's done here since he came to Vegas. After Matthew Sluka left, as you mentioned, Ray, Sluka left the team out to dry. So Williams was asked to step in, keep the momentum going from last year, and he did all that and more. 17 touchdown passes to only 5 picks. That helped him lead the Mountain West in quarterback rating. And of course, he's a menace on the ground. Close second on the team in rushing yards, 824. First on the team with 9 rushing touchdowns. Would have been entirely understandable for Malik to step into this role, look a little overwhelmed, but that never happened this year. Even in the games against Boise State, he was keeping the team in the game. Boise State, obviously the class of the Mountain West. UNLV was hanging with them for both games they were in this year. Malik has my vote for Rookie of the Year.
He also has my vote for Rookie of the Year as well. He may not be a college football rookie, but he was a rookie to Vegas, and what a get he was. As you mentioned, all of those amazing points there. He really it was a seamless transition from Sluka to Malik Williams, and he really just bolstered his team, kept them in it, led them to their first 10-win season since they were a D2 program. So it's really been incredible to watch and see him flourish. And, he made the players around him better too. Ricky White had his best season, and he wouldn't post those numbers if he didn't have a solid guy throwing to him and setting him up for success. So Malik Williams, certainly that dude for the UNLV Rebels football program. All right, Mr. Ray, I know you know who your pick is this time around.
So,
who is it?
I do know. First of all, shout out to you guys for giving the Rebels some love. Who would have thought the first Sin City Beat Award show, we're going UNLV,
we're
UNLV.
All over
Mike's my new guy, UNLV in every
It's the UNLV show.
It is.
But for me, the Rookie of the Year is Brock Bowers, right? Probably the best tight end in football. Definitely the best thing the Raiders have going for them.
Yep.
In a season where they've now lost double-digit straight games, Bowers is first-team All-Pro, Rookie of the Year, the future of the franchise. Let's get his face on a billboard, and please find a quarterback in the draft that could sling the rock to Bowers, because for the next 10 years, he's going to be the guy for the silver and black. If the Raiders are ever going to, become that perennial playoff contender, if they're going to give Las Vegas some meaningful January playoff games, it's this guy leading the way. What a great fortune for the franchise that he fell in the draft, right? They were like, we got to get a quarterback. We got to get a quarterback. And the quarterbacks went bam, bam, bam. Penix went to the Falcons. Like, how could the Falcons? They got Kirk Cousins. And he fell into Vegas's lap. So the quarterback situation, arguably the worst in the league. The coaching situation, not much better.
Nope.
Thankfully, though, they've got some great foundation in Brock Bowers, a true tight end, the Rookie of the Year, not some fifth-year senior who I love in Malik, but a true rookie.
And if I could make a case also to build off that. So, of course, there's been a lot of talk in NFL circles. If you listen to talk radio, Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels for Rookie of the Year, and that's very much an okay conversation to have. Brock Bowers is literally the best tight end in football right now. He's leading all tight ends in receptions, I believe yards as well. So not only is he, is there a good argument for him being the Vegas Rookie of the Year, I think if you come into the league in your rookie year, you're the best at your position, you should win Or else we should just call it the quarterback who most exceeded expectations award.
Could we create an award, the person that caught the most passes from Desmond Ridder as a rookie?
Yeah.
Zero quarterback play. Could you imagine if he was in an offense with a capable quarterback?
Right, right.
So the sky's the limit. Of course, it's however you develop the next guy. There could be an argument about the Raiders' ability to develop anybody, but despite the poor offense and the questionable play calling, right, you've went from one coordinator to the next. Brock Bowers has been great. He's the envy, I would think, of the draft. If you redraft, he goes 2. It goes Jane Daniels, Brock Bowers. In my opinion.
I think you might be right.
100%. So much love for Brock Bowers here, and it is very deserved. What a special evening, and there's still so much more to go. Who wins Coach of the Year? I think we might all be in agreement for this one. But who also wins Athlete of the Year? There's 2 more awards to give out. Stick around. Welcome back to the Sin City Beat Awards show. Our next award goes to Vegas Coach of the Year. Many of us have one man on our mind. The entire panel in unison for this one, Sir Barry Odom. I mean, am I right? So he's now on to Purdue, but he helped lead our beloved Rebels to unprecedented heights in his years at the helm. So Ray, let's talk about this. What is your case for Barry Odom? Just say it, we're all thinking it.
Well, first of all, the Rebels were ranked for the first time in program history. Mm-hmm. They won 10 games for the first time in 40 years. They're playing this week in the LA Bowl, marking the first time they've played in back-to-back bowl games. The guy, his legacy here is he fixed it. We've had this vision for UNLV football for years, and it started to come in fruition with the stadium and the athletic training complex. And you finally got a coach who organized and put the bow on it and got you to on the right way to the finish line, if you will. It's the glory years. Hopefully, it's not just 2 years. Barry Odom's left for Purdue. We get it. 38 to 40 million over 6 years. Higher conference, no problem. I totally get it. Not in love that he picked Purdue, a program that you argue is going to be in the backseat to Ohio State and Michigan and now Oregon in that league. But his legacy here has to be 19 wins over 2 seasons, being ranked in the nation. If they win in the LA Bowl this week, they'll be ranked in the top 25 to finish the year. And more important, everybody loves UNLV football. Right. So the foundation for, Coach Mullen and whatever he does next year is solid.
Yep, that's exactly right, and that's my answer too. It's got to be Odom. And I'm going to build off what you just said because Odom left something that Mullen can build off of, and that's really important to me because what UNLV football was before Barry Odom came, this was a team where, hey, if we win 6 wins, great. But now, after avenging 3 of their losses from last year, they beat Kansas, Fresno State, San Jose State, 10-2 to finish the regular season, improved from 34 points per game to 36. Okay, great. That ranked 14th in the country this year. Even more impressive, though, the defense got much better. 29 points per game last year. This year, only 22 points per game. That's a whole touchdown difference. Even more important than that, though, as we were just talking about, leaving this program in much better shape than he found it. Dan Mullen is not walking through that door if Barry Odom doesn't have the last 2 seasons he's had. Mullen's a catch. That's a great hire. Odom paved the way for that. UNLV is now at least a couple levels above where it was as a program, thanks to Coach Odom. And by that I mean not just the fact that now they're able to probably recruit better players, they're able to bring more people to the stadium, but actually attract coaches that want to stay for several years. And UNLV has a little bit further to go before it is at the level of maybe a former Pac-12 school or something like that, where it could be like a destination school. But Barry Odom got them closer to that than any coach ever has, and he only needed 2 years to do it. So this is kind of almost like a multi-year award, but this was the best of his 2 seasons. And then last thing I want to leave you with, because I did touch on recruiting, that's so important here in UNLV.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not like, all respect to Wyoming football, there's no, for example, Wyoming, they'll get like a Josh Allen, but I'm just using that as an example.
Randomly.
But Josh Allen wasn't Josh Allen when he went to Wyoming.
For sure, for sure. But like, for example, a Wyoming football, they can have some good years, but they don't have a recruiting base to build a foundation for years and years. UNLV does. here in the Valley, it's not just Bishop Gorman. We got incredible high school talent here, and we're not even scratching the surface in terms of that talent staying home to play here in the Valley. Barry Odom, again, set the foundation for being able to do that, and hopefully Dan Mullen can run with it.
Yeah, you know, I want to touch on something Ray had mentioned. You said the word legacy. If, for whatever reason, Dan Mullen can't keep it rolling, would that impact Odom's legacy here, or do you think it's two completely separate categories? Like, would those 2 years of historic seasons just be for nothing?
So Barry Odom, if say the Rebels go back to we can't get to 6 wins, and like you said, striving to get 6 wins, let's have a parade. We got to 6 wins.
Right.
If somehow he can't get to 6 wins with the infrastructure that's in place, I don't think that even makes Odom look better, that he was able to do it in a program that was a habitual loser. He was able to get them into the winner's circle. I do think if Mullen keeps the train going down the track, then it's like, oh, Odom was great, he got us there, we love Odom, blah, blah, blah. But if Mullen fails, then maybe the public perception of him goes down a little bit to where you're like, oh, Barry Odom left us high and dry, and we got this bum Mullen to come in that they're paying $3 million. Like, it's Mullen makes more than the entire UNR football staff.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That's why I'm a Rebel. Let's go. I love that.
All fired up.
And that, again, speaks to the fact that, like, if Odom isn't here, UNLV is not feeling good about dropping $3 million a year into a coach.
Right.
Because, at that point, it's like, well, is it worth it? Are we even going to be bowl eligible?
It's an investment. 40,000 people were at the Boise and Reno games. Think of the ticket sales right there.
Yeah.
If that goes down to the 15,000 we had at Sam Boyd Stadium for 20 years trying to get that elusive 6 win, then you're back to being UNR. But right now you're on the bridge and you want to cross over into the land of playoff contending every year.
Let's hope Mullen can do that.
Yep. All right, great points, you guys. Sorry, we got to keep it moving because we've got our biggest award of the night coming up. Who will be the first ever Sin City Beat Athlete of the Year? The most prestigious award on the face of the planet is given next. Welcome back to the first ever Sin City Beat Awards show. What a wonderful night we've had celebrating the best sports figures Vegas has to offer. And now our evening is unfortunately coming to an end. It's officially time to honor the Vegas Athlete of the Year. And again, this one is unanimous. Asia Wilson, the face of our Las Vegas Aces and perhaps the face of sports in Las Vegas. She wins Sin City Beat's Athlete of the Year. Ray Brewer, why did you decide to go with Asia Wilson for this award?
So Asia Wilson is not only the best player in the NBA, she was the player of the year.
WNBA.
WNBA, my bad, gosh. But she is on pace to be one of the best all-time female basketball players.
Yeah.
She's won back-to-back titles. Of course, this year she was the MVP. More importantly, she plays with like this grit and determination, and then the next minute she just has this great smile. I have a daughter. I coach a girls soccer team. I know the importance of athletics for young girls, and she is such a great role model for them to look up to. So forget about the stats and the gold medals and the trophies and just how great she is with double-digit points. She led the league in scoring, all time. Great rebounds, blocks, defense, great personality. It's what she brings to those children watching her that I think is just so impactful that we might often overlook. And she's, to me, a home run. And every year, Vegas is going to have opportunity to win the league because of one player.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, just to your point, I cover the Aces all season long, and Asia is by far my favorite person on that team to interview, to talk to, because it's so easy. It's so effortless. She's not rude. She doesn't have a chip on her shoulder. She has a chip on her shoulder when she's playing, but when she's talking to us, she's very personable, very lovely, very easy to work with. Mike, why did you roll with Asia? I'm sure our notes all cross.
They do, and my reasons are going to sound a little bit more stats-based and hollow than yours. Yours were very moving.
You went into
very from the heart.
Dad mode, like that was heartfelt.
I want to hear the numbers though.
We loved that. So I do have numbers for you guys. So this was not just an MVP season.
Oh yeah.
This was an historic season. So Asia Wilson set the all-time record for points in a season and for rebounds in a season. Okay, she's also getting to the line at an historic rate. This year, she made the 4th highest amount of free throws in a single season. So she's scoring a bunch of different ways. Third on that list, by the way, of free throws in a season, A'ja Wilson last year. By the way, it wasn't just the offense. A'ja led the league in blocks too. Only 2 players have had more blocks in a single season ever than A'ja just did this year. And the last thing, if you think she's just filling up box scores, it's not just volume. The advanced stats like her too. And if you're a stats guy like me, you'll love this.
Got all the numbers.
A'ja just set the single season record for win shares, breaking the mark she set last year. So she's building on her success. And now she also has the second highest single season player efficiency rating ever. That's that PER rating you'll see on basketballreference.com if you ever go on that, which of course
God.
I do. But that's my kind of stuff. So A'ja, of course, not just with the stats, but as Ray, you very eloquently said, she's the face of sports in Las Vegas, and especially for young women aspiring to be athletes, an indispensable role model.
And if you look at the season that she did just have and the aces that they just had, their season was very inconsistent. They could not string together that large of a win streak. They were struggling up and down, especially in that first half of the season. But the one consistent part, night in and night out, was A'ja Wilson and her performance on the floor. She had no issue putting the team on her back and putting up double figures. There was maybe 1 or 2 games where she didn't at least drop 20 points on the night this season, which is absolutely insane. She's in double figures night in and night out, and she is just such a boost for this team. And you can tell that her teammates there's a sense of calm when A'ja Wilson is on the court, because if anything goes wrong, it can't go that wrong when she's on the floor, just defensively, offensively. I know she was bummed she didn't even get Defensive Player of the Year on top of MVP this year. So that's how dedicated she is to her craft. So we love A'ja Wilson here, and we also love the Sin City Beat Award Show. What a way to close out the year.
That was fun.
Thank you to my panel, Ray Brewer, Mike Allen, I'm Mariah Janos. We had so much fun. We'll see you in the new year.